Oh wow. I didn't actually expect Wooden Bacon to be here like immediately. But hey, welcome to sort of streaming. Um Hopefully there's sound. It's weird. For the past half hour, I've been working with the same Logitech headset that I did a stream about like 2 or 3 days ago. Um, when I did that stream, it was on a desktop that had Windows XP. It was already outdated, but I like having it around for like older games that I might want to play every so often. It's at least a little bit more compatible with them than a modern system in compatibility mode. Um, I do have two other desktops and a laptop. They are mostly up to date. Uh, one laptop, one desktop has Windows 10. The other one, kind of faulty on its own outside of its operating system. So, I have no idea. But either way, I tried with my desktop. Uh, yeah, I tried with the desktop that has Windows 10 to see if it would work. And hopefully it does. I have no idea. I'm waiting on some kind of feedback in the live stream to see what would happen if anything is going on. I don't know why my mouse has just disappeared. Oh, there it is. So right now I have it plugged in to my iPod of all things, and it is on, what do you call it? It works right now in the same way that regular, just triggered myself. Um, it works in the same way that regular iPod headphones work with an iPod or iPhone or something like that. You know, like they're the classic kind of earbuds with have a little thing along the wire for volume up and down and a microphone setting. This is how the iPod is receiving what I'm wearing right now. So that's good, maybe. It's kind of hard to say. Um, I haven't really tested it that much with live streams with like Apple brand sort of headphone microphone setup. I have no idea if it works any better than this or if it works the same. I did try voice recording using this, and it worked fine. So I'm happy with that, and actually brought it in a good volume. I really now I'm kind of kicking myself because earlier today I had a live stream. Well, even last night too. Last night, I had a live stream panel that I was recording for future stuff, and the audio was cutting out every so often. And on top of that, there was a panel going on in the other room that was extremely loud and obnoxious, and it might have been hard to hear even with that. Um, So people were pointing it out throughout the live stream that it was very confusing. I think the subject matter was also what made it confusing. But yeah, it just didn't work for anybody. I watched that footage back and I realized a lot of the choppiness. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to the AVGN panel. I'm going to try to live stream it. And if it doesn't work, I have a backup plan. I'm going to use my iPod or my iPhone or both to record the audio from that stream or from that panel. The live stream was on my phone, on my Android, and then the other devices were just recording the audio. So that way, if something goes wrong with my phone trying to do the live stream like it did last night, then I could do it on, or I kind of like splice the audio together, re-upload. Problem was, it all went bad. I mean, I still have the audio files from my iPhone and my iPod, and they did record, but it felt really distant. Like if there were two people talking to each other in real life, it sounded like they're on two ends of a football field. And not the long ends, but still far enough away that you'd have no idea what they were saying or like really listen closely. But and this was in a very small room too for this panel, so like packed with people. They had several microphones and there were several speakers that the microphones are hooked up to. So it's like there should really be no reason why it'd be hard to hear. It's like sound is bouncing off the walls. Um, but I think it's because an iPod and an iPhone, when they do like a voice memo, they pick it up right next to where you are. So that's unfortunate. It's a little bit easier if I were to do something like this because I'd have it a little bit further back from where the device is, but because of the wired connection of the headset, it makes it better. And I'm assuming by the one person that's in here not commenting at all and just letting the stream run, that maybe they're not hearing anything that I'm saying, which is a bummer because that's the point of the stream. It's to test if it actually works. Uh, this is something that I've played around with once or twice. Oh, okay, good. This is something that I've played around with once or twice on Maniac for Bricks, on regular videos. Every so often, I would actually use the iPod, Apple, headphone, headset thing to try to increase the audio. Like, try to get a little bit clearer to me. Usually, there'd be like a haul video or something where I might be a little further away from the camera. I have to open something so that way it'll work that way. Okay, good. It works perfectly. That's good. I'll definitely look back on the footage of this and see how it goes. But this is something that I want to try to use more often. The point of me upgrading my microphone was actually a couple different things, a couple purposes that I do want to try out with in the near future. One, doing it from the device itself does not seem to be the most reliable. Two, I want to try it for any time I'm invited onto someone else's stream or to a podcast or something. So it'll be a little bit closer to what I need it to be when I'm on there and a little easier to hear. I've been on other people's live streams in the past where they couldn't hear me at all or very, very softly. So hopefully something like this will help with that. I've wanted to do this for future videos where I will be able to narrate a little bit better and I could be a little bit of a distance from the microphone or a little bit of different distance from the camera or whatever, but still get across what I want to. I know some people have had a microphone that's usually like clipped to their shirt or something, and it's a little less obvious than a headset, but it is also more expensive. I don't know how the wiring goes with that, and well, this was $9. I'm trying to see how far I can stretch that $9, and if not, I'll return it. See if I can get something else. It might be a little bit bigger, but I don't plan to spend more than like $50 for a microphone. I wanted to shoot for the low hanging fruit and see where I go from there. Um, I know there is a you get what you pay for sort of thing to everything. But there is kind of a standard at some point. They kind of expect a microphone or really expect any piece of technology to be. So I don't know, I may just be talking out of my butt at this point about this sort of thing. And you could say so. You could say, like, that's not exactly how it works. I wouldn't be offended. Uh, but yeah. So I do have. I'm gonna try this out. I don't know if it's gonna work that well with the stream, but still, that's what the stream is for. It's for testing things. I have sort of an extension. It has the same plug as a headphone or microphone, like 3.5 millimeter. I think it's usually referred to. And on the opposite end of it, it's like the male and female connections of it. So like this. What I want to try to do first, I want to see if I unplug this headset, will it change the audio? Like, will it just completely cut out until I plug it back in? Or will it revert to the microphone built into the iPod and carry on from there? Second, when I do plug it back in using the extension, will it change anything? This is actually funny enough that this is happening right after AVGC because around this time last year for a Video Game Con 2017, I wanted to do the same exact thing. I wanted to have a better microphone than what is already on an iPod or an iPhone to record stuff. And I didn't have one available. I didn't have one to carry around, be it to talk with people or whatever. Um, I didn't even have a headset version of it. So, and I did have this wire. This was why I bought it back then. But since there was no device I could plug into uh, to really get that across, it didn't happen. I think I still have footage, but it wasn't like something I could improve on or something that at that con I would have been able to record better. It would have been the same materials before. So let's see how this works. I'm going to unplug it now. All right, it's still unplugged. Still the plug here, and I don't know if you guys are hearing it better. I'm actually gonna hop on to something or other off to the side and see if I can pick that up. Oh, yeah, I gotta be careful with the wire. Yeah, that's a funny thing about a wired device. Sounds a little less clear. Okay, I'm glad that the sound is still going through it. All part of the testing, and I'm glad that you're here for it. That's all I really need. I'm not asking for like 100 people, just somebody to receive it. So thank you for that. Let me see now. So I'm now going to plug it back in to the iPod. Here again, what it's called, and I bet there is a word for it. I'm not in any sound engineering class or anything like that to know better about this, but there has to be a word for when you plug an audio device into something that transmits audio. Like if you plug a speaker into a computer or headphones into an iPod, there is like a little faint electric spark-like sound that comes through. It's not enough to shock you or anything like that, but it's just kind of like a quick like a buzz or something like that. I'm not really sure what it was called, if there is a name for it, but there has to be a word for it because I've plugged this headphone in with the wire and without the wire into my desktop, into the desktop in the living room. Both times it had the same thing happen. It had that little buzz. So I don't know why nothing happened after that, and that's what kind of makes me wonder for like any device that gets plugged in, what that little buzz means. Does it just mean there's some electricity going through it, but not enough to carry the sound with it? I don't know. What about it? I did see that comment there that it's getting better. I think it was better. Oh, there we go. Don't know why it didn't pop at first. Sounds much better. Okay, good. Thank you. Now, the other thing that I can do while I have a headset and try to record future Lego videos, or just videos in general, YouTube videos, that's what I meant, not just Lego ones. Another thing I thought about doing was, I don't know how to phrase it. A part of me still kind of wants to try Let's Plays. And it's not that there would be an issue with audio. The issue, like, audio is the last issue, or one of the last issues about it. The biggest issue I have with doing a Let's Play, not really a channel, but like Let's Play series every so often on a channel, the problem I would have has to do with the video. I do have an Elgato HD60. I bought it the same day as when I bought Lego Dimensions. And yeah, that's pretty cool to have it. And I did have, you know, some HDMI cables to hook it up to a computer and to a TV. Thank you. I had that ready to go, hook it up the right ways, download the right drives and installers to my computer. I have done live streams with it and I've tried to do separate recording with it, but it never fully worked. It usually had 30 frames per second when playing Lego Dimensions, which was like close to 60 frames per second. Um, People noticed through the live streams that it slowed down majorly when there was a boss battle because there's a lot more movement on the screen, and therefore the tracking of the Elgato was messed up. So I don't know about that one. I'm also not sure if my laptop is able to hook up a microphone like it is now to my iPod. Um, if it couldn't, I would need to have some other way of transmitting the audio while the video is on another device. For Let's Plays, that would actually be pretty easy for me because let's say I could do that. Let's say the Elgato works fine. I can plug it into my HD TV, play it on Xbox 360 or the Wii U or whatever, and play games through it. Let's say it doesn't get the audio from my commentary. Well, I could just use my iPod. I could record it while I'm playing the game, sync it up, and then publish that with videos. You should ask Greg for advice. He probably knows how to fix it. I asked him before on the live stream that he just had, and he said that he has no idea. With the Elgato, probably. I mean, I don't know if his is the same model. I think his is actually more advanced than mine because mine is like 3 or 4 years old at this point. But yeah, I mean it's the same company and it's probably the same drives, so it might have something similar to his. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. I do know that my computer has been slow on occasion, so I don't know if that had to do with it, with like how well the process is and running the app. Even if it's the only thing running, that might be part of it. And I'm not saying the live streaming would just be to YouTube. I have explored the option of doing it on Twitch before. Still have my Twitch account for it and still follow people through Twitch. Just trying to like branch out a little bit more and try different options. Discord, also another thing that I could use between video and audio, and as long as I can test it on the devices, then I can go to those sites, and see how much further it goes. Skype included. I have used Skype for years in and out of things, usually just talking with friends or classmates with homework or whatever, back in high school. Not much for gaming, but it could be a gaming option if needed with multiple people. And yeah, like I said, if I know that it works on the device, it has a better likelihood of working with the program, the app, the site. So yeah, I'll shoot Greg a message. He'll never read it. Seriously, I've had messages I've tried to send Greg, and the best way that I've contacted with him is through live streams. And even then, everybody's talking at once, so I totally get if things get missed. I'm not worried about that too much. But like, if there is something I need to directly speak with him about, I've tried through other methods and they don't always go together. I don't really bring it up to a YouTube comment section because it's not that kind of place for it. But yeah, I'm still trying to see. I'll figure something out with him. But yeah, every other thing that I've used these headphones on has just registered it as headphones. Like, even if it was in the microphone jack of the computer, didn't matter. It still said, these are headphones. There's no microphone here. I even did like a diagnostic test with my desktop, and it was like, oh, just read this phrase, just like a simple little like 2-sentence phrase, while in like some amount of time, and then it has like a bar underneath it to say